looks like most people are here now, so I'll kick it off. Thank you again for joining us. I've got Simon joining us this month as well. So Simon's recently joined us from our Channel UC acquisition. He's going to be running through a bit of a demo shortly and a bit of a deep dive into one of the products that we've got coming from that side of things. However, as a whole, so I'm going to run through high level some of the other products that we got coming as well. So a few exciting things coming there. Simon will jump in with a demo of Red Cactus and deep dive into what that product is and what that looks like. Our status page, which we've just launched. So what is status page, things like that as well. So if information there for yourselves. And then some changes that we've got coming up to our proof of concept and sandbox as well. So I'll run through those shortly at the end. But first of all, new products. So everyone's like having new products to sell, support, and be able to use both internally and for your customers as well. So, and it's what we're here for. So, of course, middle of our product set, we've always got SaaSboss. SaaSboss is our portal for absolutely everything. So everything hangs off that. What we've got here is our 4 key products. So UC Excel, which was our Broadwork side of things, soon to be rebranded into UC Excel, UC Express, Microsoft Teams, and WebEx. Everyone should be familiar with these 4. This is how everything works. You've probably sold or used some of these, if not all of these at some point. Off this as well, we do have our CRM integration tools. So Go Kara, Microsoft Go Integrator Kara and Nava as well. So for UC Express, and now Red Cactus, or soon to be Red Cactus, is coming for that one as well. Our other main side part there is UC Insights. So this is a new term you may not have heard just yet. This is our analytics that we're building out. So this includes things like Anywhere 365, or Analytics 365 and Tollring, but we've also got some internal ones coming as well that we're building out that will show off in a couple of months' time when we can have a bit more of a deep dive into those. UC Pay, which was launched last month. So this is our payment gateway over the phone. So any of your customers who are taking payments over the phone, great for that. Reach out if you do want a demo or any information around UC Pay. It is live now. It's ready for your customers to use. We do already have some customers using it. So if you need a referral or something like that, we definitely can provide that as well. So UC Pay is available now as well. But the big new one we've launched out of this as well is our contact center product suite. So we did previously already have our contact center connectors into Genesys and NICE and CallCorp. However, with the Channel UC team, we now have 2 new contact centers omni-channel contact centers that we can provide as well. Those being CC for Teams and Zima. So 2 very different products available, which I'll run through shortly. So key 4 on the left-hand side, add-ons on the right, and this is kind of how everything will be working going forward. From some slides from our conference, our head of product liked using a cake analogy around how everything stacks together, which is great. So at the bottom, you've got SaaSboss. That is the fundamental of how all of our product sets work. On top of this, we do have our 4 main products. So Microsoft Teams, UC Express, UC Excel, and WebEx, all built off that SaaSboss foundations. Above that, when you do need that next layer, which is that contact center piece there, it's where our CC for Teams and Zima comes in. And at the very top, it's all of our add-on products or tertiary products on top of that. So that's your CRM integrations, your analytics, that's your SMS gateways, UC Pay in there as well. All of those additional functionality that you can provide to your customers when required. And then sticking on the cake analogy, of course. So when you do have customers who need that transition from just a simple, our Core 4, our UCaaS product suite, which is your very basic calling, call queuing, basic analytics. If they've already got those using those NICE and Genesys, perfect. We've got our connectors into those as well, so we can utilize those to provide that functionality. Or if they want to move everything to yourselves or us as well, that's where our CC for Teams and Zima piece come in. So that's being able to provide some additional functionality and analytics and things like that, all in a fully fledged contact center piece in this. So a little bit about CC for Teams. So CC for Teams is a omni-channel contact center within Microsoft Teams. So it's very much based around that feature set. This does utilize either direct routing or Operator Connect. It doesn't matter which way your customer's using. It does work on either piece or either solution at this stage. So this is giving, yes, there's call queuing, and you can get some very basic functionality out of that and reporting out of that. Some of us are already using our Microsoft Teams Enhanced, using our BroadSoft to do call queuing and analytics out of Tollring and things like that as well. This is taking that to the next level. So it's all within Teams. It's a bit more a seamless solution. You don't have going to go to Kara to change your ACD statuses. You don't have Tollring to do your analytics, everything like that. It's all built within the one application, which is great from that side of things. So you are still getting things like your ACD statuses, so custom ACD statuses, so your staff can change in between those. Your wrap-up codes, supervisors can can listen in and barge into calls when needed. They can change call routing policies or skill levels for agents, things like that. All super simple, easy to manage from the customer's perspective, and when needed. And then the nice thing about it as well is you do still get lots of reporting out of this as well. So it's all done in Power BI. There's lots out of the box. Customers can make their own as well if they wish. One of the best ones I like out of this is what you're seeing on the screen there, which is being able to have a visual representation of when a call comes in, where they're going to, how many calls are going through, into which queues, things like that. So really detailed reporting out of the box as well. This also includes your standard, how many calls are my agents taking? How many are they missing? Are they going to voicemail? Is one agent taking 80% of the calls? All of those kind of analytics built out of the box as well. So it's really detailed way of being able to provide this out of Microsoft Teams. So if you do have a customer who's really call heavy, likes Microsoft Teams, and they want that functionality, let us know. We can do a bit of a demo with them. And can provide that to them as well if need be. The other one we're providing is Zima. So Zima is a omni-channel contact center solution once again. Nice thing about this is if you're not a Teams house, you're not using Microsoft Teams, this is another great way of going, being able to provide a different solution to it. Also having redundancy away from Microsoft Teams as well. Not that, like, we all know that Teams is great 99% of the time, but there always is that bad day. So this is a nice way of being able to provide that redundancy to that as well. This is, and as I mentioned, fully omni-channel as well. So SMS, email, web chat, into your social medias. So your Facebook Messenger, your WhatsApp, your Telegram, all of those kind of things built into it. Lots of reporting built into this as well. So being able to see how many calls are coming through, cradle to grave reporting in this platform is something like anything I haven't seen before, where it's not just cradle to grave of calls coming through. It's all your different media methods of being able to have that conversation. Full cradle to grave reporting. If it moves from one to the other, all of that's tracked as well. So really detailed reporting onto this level. And then insights into what your agents are saying. Was the conversation, when being recorded, is the conversation positive, negative? Is someone saying things they shouldn't say? All of that being tracked as well. So really detailed from that side of things as well. So this is something that's, if you have a customer who wants this kind of analytics as well, or this kind of situation, let us know. We can provide this to them at the moment. So lots of advanced functionality there as well. So a few different screenshots as we go. So that's a little bit about the contact center side that we've got. If you do have questions, if you do want to see demos, things like that, do reach out. We can provide those. We've already got our first sale of Zima come through earlier in the week. So shout out to that team who've got that signed contract already, which is great. But if you want to know more, reach out to either your account manager or your solution consultant. We can do that demo. We can arrange that demo for you as well. But now I'm going to hand over to Simon to do a bit of a demo for and deep dive into Red Cactus.
Hi, Mitch. Thank you very much. Hi, my name is Simon. I'm from, well, we're part of Channel, I'm from Channel UC, and we're now part of Access 4. So today we're just going to give you a little bit, talk to you a little bit about Red Cactus and a little bit of a small demonstration. So, and the agenda is pretty much about Red Cactus. We'll meet Bubble, their application. We'll look at their marketplace and knowledge base, bit of what the application looks like and a demonstration. So a little about Red Cactus. So Red Cactus is a software integration partner for telecom providers, where basically they're in the market that they come from. There was a frustration with around compatible or comparable applications at that time, where information was poor from a sales and technical perspective, and support was difficult. So this is one of the reasons that Red Cactus has grown quite rapidly. Red Cactus offers a very simple licensing model. It's just one subscription per user, and you get all the functionality. So in total, they have 200 CRM integrations and still growing, and around 74 plus telephony platforms. Unlike other applications out there, Bubble is just one application. You don't have a different application for different telecom providers or CRM. So, who is Bubble? Bubble is the actual desktop application that Red Cactus have developed, which enables the phone system or telephony system on one side to be integrated to a CRM system on the other side. There are some embedded options where Red Cactus, as you can see on the right, the actual notification profile can be embedded in some applications.
I don't think your screen sharing at the moment.
Oh, apologize for that. Maybe I'll go back to the start. Sorry about that. Bear with me. Here we are. Sorry about that. Can you see my screen now?
No, still not coming through.
Really? Okay. Let me go share again. Can you see that now?
Yes, that's coming.
Okay. Excellent. So apologies for that. So basically, so yeah, just briefly going back again, apologize for that. So we're just going to have an agenda that talks about Red Cactus, the application that they developed called Bubble, their marketplace, which we'll dive into a little bit deeper, knowledge base, the Bubble application, and we'll do a short demonstration. So as alluded to earlier, Red Cactus is a software integration provider for telecom providers and resellers. How did they come about? There was a frustration with respect to comparable applications available at the time with respect to the sales and technical information that was limited, and difficulty getting support. And this is one of the main reasons they have rapidly grown. They have about 200 plus CRM integrations, and they integrate to about 74 plus telephony platforms. One of the advantages of Red Cactus, the Bubble application, only requires one license, and you get all the features. So if here we need Bubble. Bubble is the actual desktop application that runs on both Mac OS and Windows. And Bubble is the application that connects the telephone system to the CRM. There are also Bubble applications that are actually embedded within the CRM instance itself, and such as Salesforce, etc. Some of the features of the Bubble application: pop-up notification, there's a search bar, click to dial. Call recording is not referring to the audio call recording, it is referred to recording the CRM information. Being able to talk, take a note, and this is dependent on the capabilities of the CRM and the call history. So the Red Cactus marketplace. So the Red Cactus has a marketplace, one for phone connectors and one for CRMs. This is where you can go and find a CRM, what has a description, its functions, its button parameters, and a link to a knowledge base article of how to set it up. Likewise, the same for the phone connector. So let's have a quick look at this. Just bear with me. So the CRM marketplace. In the CRM marketplace, let's say if you look at Zoho, for example, we press search, we look at Zoho CRM, and here it'll give you a description of the integration, a bit about the pop-up notification, the functionalities that are available, customization, and some of the technical data. You can look at a breakdown of the functions. Does it support click to dial? And if you click on the information button, it provides a little bit more background of that function. The integrated features, the type of integration, the pop-up type. So it's really good to get a good snapshot from a sales perspective or a technical perspective, what functions are available. Red Cactus, the actual Bubble app, which we'll see later, has buttons. So you can have particular buttons that say, during this coming call, send an email or pop up the actual CRM page, etc. You have the parameters. So one of the key goals of Red Cactus when developing the Bubble application is to focus on how to craft the notification to give the agent or the person receiving the call the most information as possible. So for the parameters are basically defined based on the integration. So if we look at Zoho, for example, some customers may utilize all the functions, or some may not utilize all the functions. So the parameters that are displayed are dynamically based on what is actually available in that integration. Then we can go to the knowledge base, and this takes you through how to set up the connection to the CRM system. If we look at the phone integration, all of them are available in one application. You don't need different Bubble applications for different phone systems, which makes it easier. You can only have one phone system connector on each application. So let's look at UC. So sorry, BroadSoft. This may not be, oh, sorry, phone connectors. Apologize for that. So here we have UC Excel. This shows the functionality that will be available on UC Excel. It is supported on Windows and Mac. The functions that this phone connector supports on UC Excel, and a link to the knowledge base article of setting it up. So just bear with me. So the Bubble application, this is the Bubble application, and this is just a bit of snapshot about it. So what we'll do now is we'll actually go to the application itself. So this is the Bubble application. So what we have is the notification. So this is where we craft of what the notification will look like that is presented to the agent. we will come back to this a little bit later. CRM connectors. So this is where we select our CRM connector. You can have more than one CRM connector, and it basically, they're all shown on the top, and you can highlight the priority that they are called upon during an incoming call or outgoing call. So we have Zoho here. We have selected our region. We selected authorize. It took us to the Zoho authorization site and authorized my user. So it means I'm connected. For phone connector, as you can see, there's a whole list of phone connectors from 3CX down to BroadSoft. We'll now go and have a look at settings. So in settings, this is where we can enable some of the features in the Bubble application. Do we want to use click to dial? You can select test. You can set a function to select text and initiate a click to dial. Number normalization. So we have different number formats, 9-digit, 10-digit, E164. So we have worked with the vendor to cover as much of these scenarios as possible. There's a lot of settings you can define CRM settings, such as look up the CRM for internal numbers, notify the CRM for internal numbers. And then on the top right, you can enable pop-up control, and you can have soft keys for define a hotkey for answering or terminating the call, depending on the phone integration. A bit more about the application. Here, within each application, you get a change log that shows what's in the version, what's coming. You can check for the latest version and upgrade it. If there's a new version, you get the option to upgrade it at the time of your choice. One of the great things we like about the Bubble app is the logs. So you can actually see incoming calls coming in. Have they been found in the CRM? Yes or no? But also this helps our support team, if a partner or customer is stuck, to send us the logs, and then we can look at this and even escalate it to the vendor to find a solution. Thought we would do a demonstration. So we're going to use what we call a test connector. So this is a really good way of actually testing the CRM works and that the functionality is there. So we'll select, I'll put a number down there that hopefully will find the contact in CRM. So if I simulate a call, you can see there's a pop-up that comes. It will hopefully find me, which it doesn't want to do this time. Well, it has now. So here it can show the incoming caller ID, the contact in the CRM, and within the crafting of the notification, we wanted to see what products this partner could sell. If we go view CRM, it's found me as a contact, and it loads the contact, and those are the details. I can answer the call, and then I can send. I have set up a button to email Mitch, so I can send an email to a contact, and hope it'll come up, and then I can send an email saying, hey, this person wants to talk to you, or the appropriate sales team. If I hang up the call, I'm given the option to put a note, so I can go edit note, test call. I can go save, and I can even select after that I want to apply this note to John Smith, and I can store the call. So if I go into the CRM, and hopefully the call has been logged. So so there, that's the registration of that call, and I could view the note in there. if I select the account, what about if I wanted to see more information that's in the CRM? So let's say I wanted to see the industry that this caller belongs to when they're calling me. So let's go back to the Bubble application and talk more about the notification profile. So in the notification profile, dependent on the type of CRM integration, we have what we call lookup parameters, and the parameters will, sorry, forgive me, we have a legend, apologize for that. We have a legend, which gives us all the parameter values that are available. There's a whole list here that are based on what our CRM system is able to offer us. So I can look at industry. So I can say, hey, I want to see some information about the industry of the caller. I can copy that value. I can go in here, I can type the word industry, value in there. I can save it. I can even show myself an example of what it'll look like when it's presented to me. So that's a really good idea. I just move. Before we do a second demonstration of what the industry value looks like, let's look at the actual buttons. So my first button is during an incoming call, do I want to view the CRM? The second button, I can define a button to say send an email. And who do I want to send it to? Sometimes an agent answers a call and there could be sales at some destination. So I can have up to 4 buttons, and these are the options that I can have in that notification profile. So if I go back and we simulate another call, we're simulating a call, and you can see that we've added the value industry, and the industry that this contact or partner is part of is data telecoms. If I view it, and I go into the actual account, I've read that value in the CRM. So that's a bit of a demonstration and a brief look into Red Cactus. Yeah, so.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Simon.
No, thank you.
If anyone wants to see a bit more about Red Cactus or have a demo themselves, reach out to myself, one of the other solution consultants, or your account manager, and we are happy to arrange that for you as well. But you can see there is some similarities to the current CRM integrations that we have, but that customization you can do with this one, changing up for how the customer wants to see, what information they get to see, that kind of side of things, really useful. One of the other things that Simon showed me the other day is how easy it is to take that config that you've created in there, save it as a backup, and then that can be your default for your customers as well. So when the new starter starts up, they log into Red Cactus, and it can predefine the CRM integration or that pop-up information, and they've got to type in their credentials into the CRM to do the authentication piece. So there's a lot there that's useful. Jumping into here. So next on the agenda was our status page. So status page is something that we've recently launched. And for those of you who don't know what status page is, it's a great way for us to be able to provide feedback from what's happening on our side, from a technical side of things, to yourselves, our partner community. So we've been asked this for a long time. What notifications we do send out, email and SMS notifications when there's issues. We put banners up in SaaSboss and the PRC, especially when doing maintenance as well. But sometimes that can be missed. Also, it's only what's live and trying to find historic information can be a little bit difficult. However, status page gives you that kind of information super easy out of the box. So letting you know when there's an incident, what's happening with it, historical data, so you can always go back, see what the uptime was, what happened, all of that information, and then being able to subscribe to this as well. So we do provide email SS, RSS Plus still, that's not going anywhere. But out of the status page, we can provide a lot more integration out of that. But first of all, so easy visibility. So this is a live screenshot from earlier in the week from our status page. This is showing the past 90 days worth of information. And you can see it's broken down into UCXL, UC Express, SaaSboss, the APIs, WebEx, and a few of the Teams product sets there as well. So it's broken down. You can see the uptime of it. You can see what's going on. And then the nice thing about it is underneath UCXL, we've broken it down even more. So this is under Express as well and a few of the other product sets. So where there's multiple pieces to it. So under UCXL, there's the actual phone system itself. Voicemail is separate. That's a different server. It's being hosted. There's a few things there. Fax to email and email to fax products, as well as call recording. So with different products, different vendors on our back end to make all that work, different servers, everything like that. So you can see what's happening there broken down into that kind of functionality level as well. Nice thing about this is you can see all of them sit at 100% uptime, which is great. It's where we want to sit. You can see at the bottom there, call recording, when we first set up doing testing, configuring it all, it does say 99.98% uptime. That was us just doing configuration, making sure that we're pulling the right information, all of that. But it did pull up that little bit of a glitch there. So you can see when it is not 100%, it is still going to give you an accurate representation of that as well. I mentioned being able to subscribe to updates as well. So this is something that is very useful across the board. So you can subscribe. You can queue email and SMS as well if you wish. I do recommend just doing that out of SaaSboss. It's just a little bit easier. You get a little bit less notifications. You may get both if you subscribe to both from that side of things. However, out of the box, you can connect it to a channel within Microsoft Teams. So being able to provide that there, or into Slack as well. So depending on what you're using internally, when we have no outage notifications or when we're doing maintenance, things like that, have that automatically send notifications to your software that you're using rather than having to search in SaaSboss. Much easier from that as well. And then that's a screenshot coming from Microsoft Teams. So I set this up as soon as I found out that we did status page and got this configured. I actually hooked this up internally. So this is a live example of what that looks like. So you can see maintenance shows up as well, what time it will begin, how long it goes for, all of that notification as well, including which products are affected. So in this case, it's iCall Suite having an upgrade. So providing all of that to yourselves, making it nice and easy for you to get access to and view that from the portal. And then post incidents. So you can see on the 22nd, there was no incidents. Great. On the 21st, there was a switching issue there. So we do provide that to you. No one probably even noticed it happened, but we're providing that occurrence to you as well. So you still get to see that. So you can jump in there, see if there was something happening. All of that comes through in there as well. So we're not hiding anything. It's not even we're trying to hide, just only show the larger issues. A lot more is going to be visible in here as well. And then planned maintenance as well. So you will still have this in the PRC. That's still going to be visible there. However, this is going to give you a lot more detail around what's happening with it. If there was complications, was it all complete? What the testing was completed, everything like that. So providing all of that to you as well. So a lot of functionality in there. The URL for this is just status.access4.com. So you can view that now. It's live. If you want any assistance, guidance, anything like that for this, once again, reach out to your solution consultants. We're happy to show you around a little bit, help you configure those connectors as well if you wish. Happy to have those conversations with you from that side of things. Last few little things, POC and Sandbox. So most of you would be aware we are making some changes to our proof of concept and Sandbox from our side. Main reason behind this is there's a little bit of confusion about what was being used for what, as well as it was from our side of things, 60 days, being able to provide licenses, things like that. So we're changing that. We're cutting it back a little bit, but still giving you that functionality and also changing up how things work as well. So there's a little bit difference here. So proof of concept. In a proof of concept, all licenses are now free. It used to be Broadworks and UC Express were free, and then third-party add-ons were charged. Don't have that anymore. All of the licenses are now included. However, it is reduced down to 14 days. So it's a much shorter time period. We will notify you after 7 days if no testing's been complete. We would expect it to be done that at least some testing done in that time frame. It's not designed for you to build out the entire customer's call flow for them to test the entire thing. It's designed for 1 or 2 users, test out an IVR, a call queue, upload some announcements if they really want their own announcements in there so they can see what it's like, and do some testing with a few users, not full call flow, everything like that. The main reason behind this is goes for 14 days. At the end of 14 days, that customer is then deleted. So any numbers that were assigned, anything like that, will go back into your DID inventory, and it's gone from there. Can't be converted to a live opportunity to a real customer. It's not built into to that anymore. It's designed for a proof of concept. It gets deleted and goes from there. And it's designed for that sales process, support, and solution selling, making sure the customer's happy with what it does, and it does what we're saying it does, and what you say it does as well. So it's designed from that perspective. Sandbox has also changed a little bit as well. So once again, it's also cut down to 14 days. So it's a much shorter time period than it used to be. However, nice thing about this now is currently when you create a sandbox, it's when you turn on the customer is when you put it on that sandbox. You then have to put in your porting order. That porting order can take 6 to 8 weeks kind of situation. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Create the customer. As long as there's no services in there yet, you can still put it in sandbox. So you create the customer, order your hardware, put in your DID number order a week out from when, or week and a half out from when the port's meant to go through. That's when you can put it in sandbox. You start turning on your services then. You spin it up. You test it as they need to. There's no more of that end of 3 days testing phase where we start allowing outbound calling, things like that. That's no longer there either. The reason behind that is we've actually made it so that you can control whether the customer can make outbound calls during the sandbox phase. So they can still do testing, make sure it works. You can make it so they can only call internally into their organization. They can call externally, and same with inbound calling as well. So lots of functionality there. You can have control over that. So if you don't want them to call out at all, that's no problem. Once again, no license charges during this time. This is third party as well, is still included with that. So not being charged for any of that during that 14 days. So this is designed for that setup and testing before going live. So it's making more of a difference between setup and provisioning as versus a proof of concept and a sales tool. So try and separate those two a little bit more from that side of things. A lot of functionality still coming into that sandbox. Just be aware, anything that is in sandbox now and it is coming out of sandbox at the end of sometime next month, the month after, that's going to stay. It's only new customers that are created in SaaSboss from the 1st of next month will only have the 14-day sandbox. Once again, as I mentioned, turn it on when you're ready for it, and then start from there. Don't have to worry about it for the entire time frame. The nice thing about this as well is group sandboxing is still there. So if you have a new customer site come on board, still put in the porting order, everything like that, put in the sandbox when you need to. As they expand, still get that same functionality. So still really useful from that side, just slightly different. Just be aware of. If you have any questions about that as well, please reach out. If you do get caught up with it, let us know as well. We can see what we can do. But yeah, there's a lot of changes happening there. Just make sure you're aware of it from our side as well. One last thing I do want to talk about is I mentioned a lot of stuff in the product side of things. That's all product and infrastructure and new products for you to sell. However, I wouldn't be able to say that we don't have more SaaSboss changes coming. We always do. So we do have a webinar tomorrow being hosted by Anne, our head of platform, as well as Matt Jamison, our head of channel. So they're talking about some changes we're bringing out to CPQ. So if you haven't heard, we are making CPQ free for everyone. That includes the full proposal, call flow diagrams, all of that is coming out included. So a lot of changes there, as well as some new functionality coming as well. So I don't want to take too much thunder away from them, but there's a lot of cool functionality coming from a quoting, being able to scope what's a correct solution for a customer. All of that's coming into the CPQ as well. So that's coming out next week. And then that webinar that is available at this QR code is on tomorrow. So don't miss out. They're going to be talking about a lot of experience in there as well from a sales perspective from Matt Jamison as well. So do register for that. It's tomorrow afternoon. It's a really good way of being able to see what's coming out there before changes go live next week. Normally, I'll leave it for a minute now just for any questions to come through as well. We did run through quite a lot today. I also would like to thank again Simon for joining us today. I know I only gave him a couple of weeks notice to jump in and give us this demonstration. Plus, he's still got his normal day job for everything over channel you see as well. So do really appreciate him jumping in today as well. But I don't think we have any questions. If you do have anything comes up as soon as we end the webinar, reach out to myself, reach out to your solution consultant or your account manager, and any of us will be able to jump in and give you a hand with anything else you need. Otherwise, thank you again for attending, and I'll see you next month.